Close your eyes, slowing down your breath. Getting into the present moment.
Good morning, YouTube. It is too early to be on camera, but I'm doing it anyways because I told myself that I'm going to make a video about shadow work and how I'm using it to help me with my manifestations. I get questions all the time asking what shadow work is about and how to really do it. So we're gonna talk about this in this video today. So what is shadow work? Shadow work is essentially finding out qualities and traits about yourself that you hide, that you are ashamed of, that has brought in you a feeling of pain or shame or feeling unlovable. And these parts of you, you basically throw them in your shadow, you basically hide them. But when you do this, you create a lot of low self-worth within yourself. So let's say you have big eyes, like I do, and someone in your childhood decided to call you out in the middle of the hallway and say, "Isn't that the girl with the big eyes?" One of my crushes literally did that to me in high school, and obviously I'm still thinking about it today. So when that happened, of course, that's creating a lot of embarrassment for one, but that's making me feel as if I am unlovable, especially to my crush. And so from that moment, I'm going to feel a lot of shame about my eyes. I'm gonna not want to even look people in the eyes. I'm not gonna wanna take photos and see my eyes. I'm gonna constantly feel as if I am less than another girl if I have bigger eyes than her. Now, obviously you can see how this is going to create a lot of low self-worth. And when that happens, when I start to grow up and I want to get in a relationship, or I think a guy is really cute, in my mind, I'm gonna be like, okay, well, hold on, because you have these eyes. You have something about you that is not lovable, so you might not really be able to get that. So maybe you shouldn't go and talk to that guy, or maybe you shouldn't go for this promotion, or maybe you just shouldn't go for the things that you truly desire within yourself for your life, because you have these unlovable, deemed unworthy qualities about yourself. Obviously, that's not helpful for when we are trying to call in different manifestations or different things in our lives. And because these things get so ingrained in us, now this was a high school experience, right? But there was different experiences early on in my childhood that created this feeling of unworthiness to begin with, which ended up perpetuating this cycle of becoming a match to people who are going to remind me of how unlovable I think that I am. Now, where shadow work is very helpful is you're basically going to the root, you're going to a certain memory that created this feeling within you, this unlovable feeling. And it's not that you're trying to change the memory, because it happened. The kid that I really liked, who, of course, tries to hit me up now, I can't change that situation. But what I can change on a neurological level in my subconscious mind, so like the deepest parts of me, I can change the emotion that I felt around that situation. So let me give you a quick example of something that I'm working on right now. This is gonna be a little bit vulnerable, but I'm gonna tell you guys because I wanna be real with you. What I have been currently working on right now, and this is in the form of a manifestation, let's say, I'm trying to be able to do social media full time. That is my goal, to be able to do YouTube and TikTok and all of my social media platforms, to be able to support me to do it full time so I don't have to work a second job as a bartender. Now, when you're trying to call in a manifestation and it's not technically coming in the way that you want, or you don't know when it's going to be, or you just have a lot of resistance to feeling as if this is actually ever going to happen, that's where you want to start to become a little bit more curious about the beliefs that you hold about your ability to be able to get this manifestation. So for me, of course, I'm growing on all my platforms. I know that it's going to happen, but there's still some subconscious beliefs that reside within me of self-doubt, of why would anyone want to listen to what I have to say? The doubt of, I don't know if I'll grow to a certain number to be able to do it full time. I have these doubts within myself. And of course, the more you doubt these things, the beliefs, these limiting beliefs that you hold within yourself will start to block manifestations from happening in many ways. So maybe that's blocking certain opportunities because you believe that there's just no way that you'd be able to do this brand deal because this brand doesn't see your value. Or you're always focusing on the negative comments because you just believe that everything you put out is not valuable and good enough and that people are gonna see all your flaws. Different things like that. And for me personally, when I want to call something into my life, I want to make sure the things that I believe about this thing that I want in my life are not conflicting each other. And so right now I've been doing some shadow work on calling in the manifestation, like I said, of being full-time online. And some of the things that come up for me is feeling of unworthiness, of feeling like, why would anyone really care what I have to say? Or I believe that some of the things that I say is just, that's not really valuable and no one's really seeing my worth. And why would a bunch of people want to follow me to be able to like actually make a living off of YouTube or online? And the deeper that I go into these beliefs, these stem and root back into childhood, where I was a shy kid. I was around a parent who was very suppressing. I also grew up in an environment at school where I was like the only light-skinned mixed kid out of a bunch of white kids. And I already felt like kind of like the odd one out. I'm not saying that anyone was even racist. It wasn't even really about that. It was just, let's say the girls in school, they were getting favored over me because majority of the guys liked the white girls with the blonde hair, like, that's just how it is. But you see how when you grow up in certain environments and you're kind of like, you're quiet or you're pushed to the side or whatever, that's gonna create a feeling within you of, I'm not worthy, or when I put up my hand, nobody's gonna wanna listen to me, or I don't feel confident in the way that I'm speaking or my writing abilities, so I don't wanna present in front of the class. Like all of this low self-worth. And again, this stays with you, this stays within you. And so as I'm growing up and as I'm putting myself on social media, let's say this specific situation, I still have the feeling of, why would anyone wanna listen to me? Like nobody wants to come to me and know everything about me or want to listen to what I have to say or just even find value in what I have to say, which on a conscious level, I know that's not true. I know what I put out is valuable. I see the comments, I'm getting the followers, I'm getting the views. I know this. But the problem is we manifest from a subconscious level. We run on these subconscious beliefs majority of the time. They're automatic, they're quick, we don't even think about it. They're just these neural pathways in our brains that are just so strong and automatic because we've been looping through these thoughts and these feelings all of our lives. So when we're trying to manifest and we're trying to change these subconscious beliefs, we have to change these neural pathways. We have to start thinking and feeling a new emotion towards how we think about ourselves or a certain situation. And so it's not enough for you to wake up and just write a gratitude list and or a manifestation list and tell yourself like, I'm gonna make $100,000 or I'm gonna go full-time on social media, all this kind of stuff. If your subconscious doesn't believe that, if your inner child is still feeling these deep, negative, shameful emotions. So what I have been doing and what you saw in the B-roll was I was doing these deep imaginations. It's basically like a hypnosis, AKA like a deep guided meditation where you're bringing your subconscious awareness back to a certain memory, like I was talking about, and you're experiencing that memory in a new way. So maybe you're experiencing yourself as a child when you put up your hand. Everyone around you in the class is magnetized to you. Everyone is interested in what you have to say. Or maybe if you didn't have a lot of confidence when you were presenting something or you're working on a project and you really needed more time, that the teachers and your parents and everyone around you was actually supporting you and giving the time that you needed to be able to process your thoughts instead of people rushing you. So it's basically going back to the memory, seeing what you didn't get, where your needs were not getting met, where you felt shame and embarrassment, and you're bringing your young self through a different feeling. Your needs are being met. You're feeling the emotions of abundance, of love, of acceptance. And I do these deep imaginings through a site called To Be Magnetic. I'm gonna have the links down below. I'm not sponsored or anything like that with them. I'm not affiliated, which would be pretty cool if I did, but They have courses where they bring you through how to do shadow work, how to get in touch with your inner child, like all of these things. So I pay for that just because I really like the deep imaginations and I like the course outline. But if you can't afford that, then you can go on YouTube and just type in shadow work guided meditations. And these meditations are going to help you kind of get in touch with some of these shameful parts of you. And they're going to bring you through a new experience where you can experience a new emotion. Now, what I will say is that consistency is key here. We have neural pathways in our brain. This is neuroscience. This is not just woo-woo manifestation stuff. They're very strong. These pathways are very strong. And so if you're trying to reprogram a belief, it's not going to be one guided meditation or one gratitude list. You're going to have to do this over and over. And this is what I really like about that course. So this morning, as you saw, I went through a guided meditation, and what came up was the fact that I feel like I've never been picked. You know, I'm not really a magnet. No one really cares about what I have to say. And this is good for me to know, because then I can start reprogramming these beliefs, because obviously they're not true, but obviously there's parts within me that still believe that they're true. And so I'm gonna go through some of these meditations, these guided meditations, where I am experiencing a new emotion. I am reinforcing deservingness. But I'm also, there's something that came up for me in this meditation today of just thinking, like, the truth is actually, there's a lot of people in my life that pick me, that are already picking me. My boyfriend is picking me. People who want me to be on their podcasts are picking me. My followers, my subscribers are picking me. The amount of comments that I get that just tell me that I'm changing somebody's life off of one video, that's picking me. People are seeing value in me. All the brand deals and the opportunities that I've already gotten, the agency that signed me to their agency picked me. And I also wrote out a list of just things that are actually really valuable about me. All the things that I bring to the table for others to see value in me. And so what I'm gonna start doing just from this one session of shadow work, I'm gonna start focusing on reminding myself all the ways in which people are already picking me. But the biggest thing, the most important thing about this is that I'm not picking myself. And I need to start to pick myself. Now, what's gonna help me pick myself and see value in myself is, of course, seeing that other people see value in me. Of course, like it's impossible to just do it all yourself. But again, it's going back into childhood, into these memories, and starting to feel the level of deservingness that I've always had, but I just didn't get in childhood. So that's a little debrief on what I did today. I'm gonna be filming for another 2 days, so please keep watching. And we're gonna talk about how often I do shadow work. I'm gonna be talking about the importance of expanders, of having certain influences in your life to reprogram your subconscious beliefs, some of the things that I've already called in from doing this work, and what I'll be calling in this winter. Bye.
Close your eyes, slowing down your breath.
Good morning. I am looking a little rough here, but you know what? I'm going to change the language. We're not going to use rough. We're just going to use tired. I'm sleepy, I'm tired. Anyways, day 2 of shadow work. Well, at least for this video, I've actually taken 2 days off of shadow work, so it's a few days now. And I want to talk about this for a second, because I feel like a lot of people who are trying to do something new in terms of a habit, like journaling, shadow work, or anything really, they feel as if they have to go super hard and super fast by doing it every single day. And the truth of the matter is, especially if you're a woman, you're quite cyclical. So sometimes you wake up in the morning and you're not really feeling like doing a bunch of journaling and getting in touch with your emotions right in the morning. So maybe you do it a little bit later in the day. Sometimes I wake up and I'm ready to just work. And that's just the season of life that I'm in right now. I try not to shame myself for it. Obviously, I usually feel better when I get in touch with myself in the morning by doing shadow work or journaling, some sort of thing like that. But I feel like I'm pretty good at knowing when it's okay to to not do it. So like I said, the past 2 days I have not done shadow work because I have been working like crazy. Although yesterday morning I did sit down and journal. I just wrote out some of the things that I was feeling, but it wasn't like the guided meditation, getting in touch with my subconscious mind, things of that nature. I want to talk about the importance of having expanders in your life. So expanders is a term that To Be Magnetic uses, which is the course that I'm taking right now, the shadow work, deep imaginations that we go through. So it's just their terminology. If you start to listen to their podcast, you will start to hear the word expanders a lot. Expanders are really just people that you can aspire and look up to that have basically come from your same type of background or situation, that is showing your subconscious mind that it is possible to get to that level, to get something that they already have. So for instance, a good expander for me would be somebody who is the same skin tone, the same age, interested in the same things as me, and has acquired something that I am looking to get. Let's say a big following on social media. And I know what you might think. You might be thinking, is that a little bit racist almost to like have to have somebody who has the same skin tone? Or maybe it's shallow to look at someone who has the numbers that you want. But the truth is that the closer that you can get to identifying with that same person, the easier it is for your subconscious mind to believe that thing is true for you. So what they talk about a lot as well is like, you're gonna have a lot of different expanders in your life. They're not all gonna be like your full you, embodied you as your higher self. I watch a lot of influencers who are white girls who live in a completely different town, who had completely different upbringings, but there's something about what they have done that can show my subconscious mind that I can also do it too. So maybe it's the fact that they're being consistent on YouTube. That's something that I can do. Not everyone has to really do in order to grow, certain things like that. So I think it's important when you are trying to call in something in your life that, of course, you're going in to your subconscious mind, you're getting curious about certain beliefs that you hold that are blocking you from being able to receive things in your life. But in that same time, you are curating your Instagram feed, you're curating your YouTube, you're watching people and you're surrounding yourself with people who show you that it is possible to get to their level. Now, I feel like I've always done this when it comes to social media, and I think that that's really helped me be able to put myself on camera right now, or to grow on TikTok. Like, I knew when I was going on TikTok that I was going to grow, because I had seen it so many times. I see the influencer culture, I've been growing up around this, so I have really primed my subconscious mind to believe that if you do XYZ, you can get this far. But there's still gonna be some blocks in between that are going to stop me from my growth or get in the way and might prolong things, which is something that I'm trying to work on. So some of the things would be the piece about feeling deservingness, feeling like somebody wants to pick me, feeling like somebody wants to even see value in anything that I'm talking about. It's one thing to believe that, okay, if I make a certain amount of videos, then I will start to grow. But it's another thing to have belief in the content that I am creating within that video and that people are gonna find value in. So it's about those blocks, but it's also about, okay, who has done it before me? And another thing that I wanna talk about is how crazy it is to realize how your subconscious beliefs about yourself affect every area of your life. So right now, yes, I'm calling in some certain manifestations for my life, and a lot of them have to do with that financial piece. But really and truly, the more that I work on my worthiness, not only is that going to open opportunities and open up my ability to be able to call in opportunities that will bring me financial gain, but I will also have more confidence within myself in general, in my relationships, how I look at myself, the feeling of calmness and safety and love for myself on a day-to-day basis outside of just manifesting money or a certain opportunity. So today I woke up in the morning and I just asked myself, like, what am I worried about right now? What am I not even stressing, because I'm not really in a state of stress right now, but what am I feeling uneasy about? I wanted to work on that part of me and get a little bit more clarity, and this is where the shadow work comes in. Today, I'm still focusing on the process of like all the videos and all my podcasts that I have to put out, and how that's going to yield different opportunities and my growth as a influencer online, all that kind of stuff. And so today I did a deep imagining that brought me through a process of deservingness. So today was really just about reinforcing and telling myself again, my subconscious parts of me, that I am deserving. I am exactly where I need to be. I am doing all the right steps. I don't need to have it all figured out. I don't need to be perfect. I don't need to have all of these limiting blocks in the way of how I'm going to present myself online. I am actually worthy right now as I am. And that meditation then helped me be able to get on camera right now and talk to you guys just as I am, just talking about whatever I just learned right now, instead of having this whole stress and anxiety about, okay, I need to make sure that I speak about this specific thing and then this thing, and what if the viewer wants something I didn't mention, all of that kind of stuff that goes in my head that I want to be perfect on camera. That little meditation allowed me to just open up the camera and say, you know, this is what I'm going to talk about, and the viewer that is listening to me right now, they're going to value the things that I'm saying, and that is all that I need to do. I don't need to show up any other way other than who I am right now and what I'm currently going through. And this was the idea of this video, is just to talk about the things that I'm going through. And so I think it's really important that even if you don't get this little course thing, right? Again, I've talked about how you can go onto YouTube and do guided meditations, and even type in a guided meditation on deservingness. This is going to help calm some of your anxiety, calm some of your overthinking, your perfectionist mindset on a day-to-day basis when you feel like in your head, oh, I have to show up like this, depending on whatever you're manifesting or whatever you're trying to be or do in your life. When you start to have these racing thoughts of like, I'm not enough, or like, I should do it this way, and like, you're overanalyzing and you're overthinking, to have this affirmation, almost this deep subconscious affirmation of you are worthy, you are enough, that literally just creates a nervous system response of just calm. And again, I've explained to you what these deep imaginings do, and they really bring you through a process of feeling the emotion of wholeness, of what would it be like, what would your day feel like if you just stood in your highest self, your most deserving self, if you didn't have to do any crazy work, or you didn't have to overproduce or show people your value. How would you feel? What would your days look like? And for me, especially when it comes to calling in a bigger social platform for YouTube, it's creating, it's having fun with my videos, it's experimenting with new video ideas and not getting in my own way and thinking, oh, like nobody's gonna like that, or I'm not gonna get the views or whatever. And that feeling is so calming and so nice. And instead of focusing on the outcome, I'm just focusing on being present right now because I am deserving. This is what shadow work does for you once you start to get in touch with the things that you're holding about yourself and reprogramming these things. So that's what I worked through today. I'm feeling a lot better about everything, and I'm just going to, today the vibe is just create. I'm working on an intro, which you probably would have already seen on this video, and doing some rebranding for my podcast, and continuing to create and grow and do what makes me feel the best, and not get so stressed out about if I'm worthy or not, because I am. And everything will fall into place. Now, tomorrow I'm going to film one more day of shadow work, and I'm going to be touching on some of the manifestations that I have called in, and also some of the things that I'm working on moving forward into the fall, into the winter, any other tips that I think of. And yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow.
Take it away, feeling too good to me. Chilling all day, all in your space is where I wanna be. Here in this room, what did you do? I just can't get enough. Too caught up in your love. I've been trying to forget, but you won't let me. Something in my brain wants you. I've been hanging by myself, asking for help, but nothing seems to work on you. Yeah,
Good morning, everyone. Once again, just recently woke up and did some shadow work. Now, today I did not do a deep imagining, and I just finished one of the actual workshops that To Be Magnetic has. I'm gonna be moving towards just working on anything in the morning that really is coming up for me. I have this whole journal here, lots of stuff going on here. I've gotten really clear with my programming from childhood, my beliefs about money, my beliefs about the world, really. Different types of blocks that's gotten me in the way of creating wealth or putting myself out there, which would equal creating certain opportunities that would equal wealth, things of that nature. Now it's really all about reinforcing these new beliefs and creating new neural pathways in my brain. This is something I want to talk about. Even if you're not trying to manifest anything in specific right now, you're just on a healing journey, you're doing some type of self-work. On one hand, it's important to not get too obsessed with that thing and feel like you have to fix yourself and change all the time, but it is important when you're trying to start a new habit or start trying to create a new thought pattern that repetition is key. And I think that is important because if you think about it, the more times that you journal, the more times that you do some shadow work and you get in touch with the parts of you that you've just been ignoring, they become very prevalent. Then you start to go throughout your life where you're recognizing when things are coming up, when your shadows are coming up, when you're feeling shame or when you're feeling pain or when you're feeling any type of thing. And then you get better at being able to self-soothe or tell yourself a new story in that moment. Let's say you're with your boyfriend and he comments on your outfit and he says it's really nice, but you've been living your life not being able to really take compliments because you're not confident within yourself and you just don't like your body. But if you've been doing this type of work, when he compliments you, even if you still feel a little bit like you don't want to take the compliment, you'll at least start to be aware of what you are doing, what your subconscious beliefs are within yourself. And of course, that's the first step to changing anything in life, because once you realize, oh, I'm feeling a lot of low self-worth from a comment that my boyfriend just made. I don't even really believe him. I don't even believe that I'm worthy of a compliment. I don't believe that I'm pretty. I don't believe that my body's nice, or whatever the case is. The more you do this work, the more you can connect those dots and be like, okay, even though that's what I feel right now, that's not actually who I am. I'm not actually unlovable. I'm not actually not pretty. It's these old neural pathways, these old limiting beliefs that I've picked up in childhood through my life that are not true about me, that I've been holding. And when you notice that in that moment, you can tell yourself a new story. You can remember the emotion that you felt when you did a reprogramming, deep imagining. So I think it's really important when it comes to reprogramming limiting beliefs, trying to manifest anything in your life, they really go hand in hand, that you do some type of repetition. Now, like I said, today I did not do a deep imagining, but I did want to talk to you guys about what I'm going to be calling in, because I had said that I was going to mention that today. So in these workshops for To Be Magnetic, they talk about the authentic code, and it's important to get clear on the things that would bring you the ultimate happiness, the ultimate peace. Sometimes we make manifestation lists, or we say we want a bunch of things based out of our ego, based off of things that will make us feel good on the surface, but really they don't even align with us. We don't even really want them. We're just influenced by different influencers on social media, or just people around us that have certain things that we think that we're going to be happy with having, but don't actually make us happy. So when you're trying to manifest things in your life, it's really important to get down to what you truly need to feel whole, to feel safe, to feel loved, to feel content in life. Now, not to say that material items won't be on this list, but usually when we are super into material stuff, or we see other people and they have wealth and they have like all the nice cars and the homes and luxury, this, that, we don't really want all of that. We don't even really need all of that, but what we really want is that safety that that money brings them, the feeling of safety. Let's say there's obviously other reasons as well. Maybe that money would be able to give them the ability to be able to help their family members, and maybe that's what you really want. So getting really clear on why you want wealth, why you want a certain amount of money in your bank account, what that is going to do for you, what you're going to use that for, that's going to really help you prosper in life. So for me, yes, I have specific manifestations about certain dollar amounts or certain opportunities that I want to call in. But what's more important, and what these things align with, is my authentic code. So for me personally, there's 3 things that are the most important for me right now in my life. This can totally change. It'll probably change when I get into a marriage, when I have kids. One is my health. I care a lot about my health, which means things that I'm calling in, the money that I want to call in, or the opportunities that I want to call in, those are all going to help me focus more on my health. The more money that I have, I can put it into high quality foods. If I have more money, then I can go to farmers markets on Saturdays instead of serving and bartending. So that's what I'm thinking about anytime I'm trying to call in specific amounts of money or opportunities or things that will bring me money. I'm focusing on my health. That is something that's really important. Or even like tests that I need to get done, or wellness products, things that are going to help me, not hurt me, with all these toxic products that we have in this day and age. I'm really interested in that. So that is one thing that's so important to me. The next thing is to have quality experiences. I want to use my money and my wealth for quality experiences, like really nice vacations. And this doesn't have to be luxury. This just has to be like I have enough money to go and do different excursions. I can stay at a really safe hotel. I even have enough money to be able to go with maybe my friends. If they didn't have enough, I could bring them with me, something of that nature. Just to have really good quality experiences and not be stressed out and not have enough money to be able to have the experience that I want. The last thing that's really important for me right now is freedom of time. Now this is really big. This is something that I'm really calling in right now, is the ability to be able to wake up and do what I want. And now this is not to wake up and do nothing. I am a very hard worker. I have so many goals in my life. I have so much more work to do that I'm inspired to do. But I want to be able to wake up and have a morning routine that is dedicated just to me and not feel like I have to be rushed, and wake up. Some days I wake up and I'm not really in the creative mindset and I don't want to film or I don't want to come up with content ideas, but I have to because I have other priorities, work related, outside of this creativity of mine that I have to commit to, which means I have only a small amount of time to be creative, and I have to do it now or I won't be able to do it for the rest of the week, which sometimes you can't force creativity. Obviously for me, with my job, with social media, the more freedom of time that I have, the more videos that I can create, the more I can really just tap into what I really want to talk about and be inspired by and even teach and learn. So moving forward, I'm going to be trying to call in opportunities, call in money, call in different things that will help support me and be able to move into this time freedom, to be able to leave my second job, which takes a lot of time from me. So anytime an opportunity is coming to me, I'm going to check in with myself and my authentic code, and I'm going to say, does this align? If a brand wants to come to me and offer me a certain amount of money, am I going to take that money based off of, oh, okay, well, I can buy 3 new things this month? Or am I gonna look at this and be like, okay, could this money contribute to something that is really important to me, like my health or my quality time or my time freedom? If it's taking too much of my time, maybe I'm gonna say no. If it's not paying me enough, maybe I'm gonna say no. So it's really important to get aligned with what you truly need and want for yourself. I feel like I have a good amount of expanders around me that show me what is possible. I have a lot of healthy masculine energy as well in my life that reaffirms me that I will get and hit the goals that I want. I will be able to manifest the things that I want in my life because I'm actually taking action. That's such a huge part with manifestation. You can't just write things down and just hope that they're gonna happen and be positive. You gotta take some healthy masculine action, which we can go into a whole another video if you want, of how I plan my weeks, how I juggle so much because I'm a content creator. I create YouTube videos, TikTok videos, Instagram, I'm posting all the time, my podcast episode, and I have a full-time job where I do bartending as well. And on top of that, I have to focus on my health, I have to focus on my sleep, I have a relationship, I'm trying to see my friends and my family, all of that. So if you want a video on just like how to manage all of that, let me know because I definitely have some tips with that. Also, one last thing. I have manifested a lot of things in my life. I'm gonna say there's 2 things that I manifested in my life that was literally based out of dropping the fear of what's gonna happen and trusting that I was deserving of this thing. And one of them was a 5-figure brand deal. And it's insane because I was deciding to leave a job that I was really feeling stuck in, and I was scared because I only had a second job, which was serving at the time, but I was making more money there than I was even at my corporate job. But I still had all these beliefs around staying at a corporate job, you know, it was safe, like benefits, like all this kind of stuff. And at that point, we were just getting out of the pandemic, so I was like, do I really want to go back into bartending? But I knew that my calling was not in that corporate industry anyways, so I was like, there's no point in me staying longer and stressing myself out when I still have to have that second job anyways because it wasn't paying me enough. But still, I was scared to leave my corporate job. Like it helped me through the pandemic, and I was scared to go back to serving and being like, oh, will I even make enough? And like, you know, we never know what's gonna happen and all this. But I started to get really clear on why am I so afraid, which I actually created a whole abundance mindset journal prompt guide from all of this. So if you want to get that, it's only $10 and I'll link it down below. But I got really aware of why I was so afraid to leave a job that I knew wasn't even actually good for me. And I was holding on to a job thinking that that was making me safe, but it was actually not. It was actually making me, if anything, more unsafe because I was trying to juggle so many things in my life and I just couldn't do it. It wasn't paying my bills the way I needed it to, and it wasn't leading me anywhere that I wanted to go. But again, I was holding on to these old beliefs and I had to really like break these beliefs down, and it came down to the fact that I was just scared. I've been scared my whole life. I've been scared since childhood. I've been scared of my father. I've been scared of my life circumstance. And when you do that, sometimes you hold on to opportunities opportunities or people or jobs or things that aren't actually safe for you anymore. And I think, again, I made a whole journal prompt guide about just different like journal prompts and affirmations that you can tell yourself and become more aware of, like, actually you are safe. Like, I was actually really safe. I still had a second job that I was falling back on. Nothing was really guaranteed. Even with the corporate job, nothing's guaranteed. They could drop you tomorrow. I had some belief in myself when it came to content creating, that I knew that that's what I wanted to do as well. And the day that I decided to put in my 2 weeks notice, I sent it off. And at this point in my head, I wasn't planning on having any brand deals or any, I don't even think I was really making money other than just like having some clients. The moment I sent that, literally like an hour later, a brand reached out to me and they signed a deal with me for 5 figures. And it was like the easiest work I have ever done in my life. I couldn't even believe it. Like, when I actually got paid for that, I was like, what? Like, literally, what? And I truly believe it was the release and the working through those subconscious beliefs that I had and I was carrying for so long that I did not need anymore. And I energetically let it go by sending my 2 weeks. I'm not saying send your 2 weeks, okay? I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying that's what I did. I showed the universe that I was actually done. And what I was previously doing was I was showing the universe I was unworthy, I was scared, I needed this job, whatever. So no money was gonna come in because I was blocked off. I was too scared. Once I released it, energetically released it, the money came in. And that money came at a perfect time because I needed that money for when I was moving as well. So it was almost like a manifestation that I was calling in. Like, I knew that I was going to be moving soon to a new condo, so I knew I probably was going to be tight with money and I needed money, but I didn't really know how I was gonna have that or how it was gonna happen. And that came at a perfect time. So anyways, that was a tangent. I just really want you guys to understand the importance of your worthiness when it comes to trying to level up in your life or manifest or create this new reality. You need people around you that's shown you that it's possible, but you need to have those beliefs. You need to unblock these beliefs. And you need to reaffirm and reprogram them a lot, because you have these old neural pathways in your head that are constantly looping on old limiting beliefs, and you need to take action. So again, if you want a video on the things that I do and really taking action, let me know in the comments below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully it helped. Hopefully it opened up something for you. Again, I'll leave all the links down below for you to get the workshop if you wanted it or if you want to check it out. They also have a podcast, so you can also listen to them as well. But yeah, I think that's it. I will definitely make another video if you like this and maybe follow up with some of the things that I've been calling in. I already know they will be called in. So without further ado, I love you and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Take it away, feeling too good to me. Chilling all day, all in your space is where I wanna be.